Good evening, everyone. I'm David Dixon, Dean of the Law School, and it's my fortunate short job to say some thank yous and congratulations to everybody who've been involved tonight. So firstly, most importantly, thank you to Professor Crawford for taking time out of a very brief stay in Australia to come to speak to us tonight, and for so generously contributing to the journal too. Secondly, congratulations to the Law Journal team. I think most people here have heard my speech about them before, so I won't go over it yet again, except to say I think you're wonderful, and the people who are looking to employ our graduates should think so too. Particularly, well, I always say this, I shouldn't say particularly. This year, as ever, they've got a wonderful team running the Law Journal. Emily Burke has been an extraordinarily good editor. Guy Baldwin, the editor of this issue, has just done such a great job. How do they do this, to manage to pick the issues so that it comes out in a way that it couldn't be at a better time? I'm actually a little bit worried about this because there's an issue coming out, which I'm personally very interested in next year, on miscarriages of justice. I'm just wondering what awful thing is going to happen when we get to this, to early next year. Thank you also to our friends at Allens for their support, not just for the journal, but for so much else at UNSW. We really appreciate it very much indeed. I'd just like to return to the general part of the journal, which is I think it sometimes gets neglected. I was very, very glad that there's been some comments on it by Kim already. But when we focus just on the special part of the journal, we shouldn't overlook the really interesting range of work which is represented in that general part. It's great to see people writing for the journal from, yes, Sydney, Melbourne, UNSW, but also from a wide range of other law schools across the country. Also covering a really wide range of really important topics, but also approaching them in different ways. It really shows the strength of the academic research discourse in this country. However, I'll just pick on one article that I did want to say something especially about, which is the article by Julia Quilter and Luke McNamara on public order legislation. Just say two things about that. Firstly, just that it's a great example of I claim Luke he's at Wollongong now, but I still claim him as one of ours. It's a great example of the UNSW approach to criminal law, taking seriously the kind of criminal law which really affects everyday people, the commonly charged offences of offensive language, and they do a fantastic job in dealing with that. However, the second point is actually a more personal one, and I'm particularly grateful to them for, because as a number of people here know, I've got a son who is studying second-year law at the, let's just call it the second best law school in this city, not UTS. And he constantly asks me for advice about the work that he's doing, and I'm a constantly disappointment to him, because he keeps asking me about, particularly, the kind of private law that you do in your introductory classes, about which I know nothing. I sort of mumble something about carbolic snails and ginger beer or something, and he's constantly made quite clear that I'm a great disappointment to him. However, he's now this session he's doing criminal law, and he came to me last week saying, I've got to do a research essay on offensive language law. And for once I was able to say, I can help. And I was able to give him this fantastic article by Julia and Luke, which is one of the best things I've seen written on this area. So at least for a week, I'm below the level of... He seems to assume that a dean knows everything about every area of law, and at least for this week, I've passed the test. So for that and for everything else that the journal does, thank you very much, and congratulations again to everyone involved tonight. Thank you.